How to relocate to Monaco? So many people are asking that question right now. And today we're going to find out all those burning questions. What is actually like to live here? Buy a cup of coffee, sit and be quiet, and just enjoy the simple things in life. And today I'm with Irene Luke, head of Savills Monaco, to learn all about it.
Morning, Paul. Nice to meet you again on my terrace, sitting above the port of Monaco during the yacht show. So delighted to be here. I am head of Savills Monaco and also part of Savills Private Office, which is based out of London. Delighted to talk to you. And we're seeing a huge amount of activity, especially out of the UK, in terms of people wanting to come here, live here, and knowing what it's like. So basically, the process is not particularly difficult, but it can be a bit lengthier than it used to be. Since Brexit, British nationals are going to have to apply for a Visa D from France. They do that in the UK before they leave, and they then obtain that and then come to Monaco and do the next part of the process. So both parts of the process involve you showing that you're of good character, so clean criminal record, not usually a problem. Also that you have somewhere to live, which is where I come in at Savills, and also that you have sufficient means to live in Monaco. So that's either a job or a job offer. If you're not going to come and work, then you need to be able to show that you have your own private means, and that's an attestation from a Monaco bank, so not your local bank in the UK.
So in terms of amount, what does that look like? There must be minimum criteria to be here.
There are, and a lot of the banks in Monaco will set their own criteria, but the minimum, which is kind of set across the market here, is you have to have a bank account in Monaco in which you have 500,000 euros. So if you're a couple, that's $1 million.
Okay, so is that a government requirement or is that more?
It's a banking requirement.
Banking.
So
So you have to have a Monegasque bank account.
A Monaco bank account in order to ask for a visa.
So let's start the process. So I'm living in the UK, not very happy with all the potential changes going on, and I want to relocate here. What's the first thing that I need to do? Open a bank account?
You have to get hold of a banker in Monaco and start discussions about opening a bank account. Absolutely. And the next thing you have to do is contact someone like me and sort out your accommodation. And that means not buying necessarily. Most people rent, but you do have to have a 1-year lease. So you can't do just a short-term letting. You have to have a 1-year lease. And you don't at that stage know if you're going to get your visa, but most people do.
So the process would be open a bank account, get it open, takes a week, prove that you've got the means. So if you've got $500,000 in the bank account, banks will KYC, which is know your customer, know your net worth and get an idea to the type of person or etc. that you are. And then you have to find accommodation.
You have to find accommodation, and that's where there are a lot of agents in Monaco. We're obviously very, very happy to help people find rentals or indeed purchases. But as I say, most people will come here and kind of test the waters. They'll look for a 1-year lease.
Okay, so it's bank account, find accommodation, and when do you apply to actually be allowed to live here? When does that come in?
Well, you get your visa first from France. So it'll be, if you're living in the UK, it will be through the French embassy in London.
So this is bank account.
Yeah. Accommodation. Yeah.
And then you apply.
And then, you do all at once almost. You have a form to fill out as well. So you get hold of the form, and then the form will say you need X, Y, and Z. So it's a bit of a process, that.
That form, you can send me that form and we can share it with the audience?
Yeah. We can get hold of the form for you and send you that. And then once you've got your visa, which will take about 3 months, is my general understanding. There's a lot of people wanting to do this at the moment. Once you've got your visa, you can then apply to the local police in Monaco. And you basically go through the whole thing again almost. And that process is a bit faster. But if you're a Swiss national, for instance, or an EEA national, if you're, I don't know, Dutch or Italian or whatever, you skip that whole visa process. But since Brexit, British nationals are going to have to get this visa. So if you're an Italian national, you just lodge all those documents here in Monaco, and you do only the residence card process from the Monaco authorities, and that will take maybe 2-3 months. So it's a lot simpler for those people.
So when we're looking at processes, etc., it could be up to 4 to 5 months.
It could.
So those that are planning ahead and you're looking to make a move probably need to get all of the things organised and ready, and 4 to 5 months later, you've got this amazing view. Have a look. I mean, Irene is so blessed.
I am. I love my view. I've lived in this apartment for 28 years and I still get excited about my view.
Day in the life of a leading agent in Monaco. Look at this.
No,
Fantastic.
it's gorgeous. And I like this area where you were talking a bit about lifestyle in Monaco. And more actually, people are talking to me not just about what it's like to be here in terms of ritzy things they do, but just sort of local,
So what about
everyday things you do.
So supermarket? How do I go shopping in Monaco? Where do I start? That's the first thing I
There
need.
are supermarkets in
Bacon.
Monaco,
Yeah.
and some of them are quite good actually. Some of them deliver, which is good. And there are a couple of there's a proper lovely sort of farmers market which is open every day. It's really cute, surrounded by cafes, the best ice cream in Monaco, that kind of thing. It's a really nice place to hang out. So you've got that, and food is not a problem here. And
No.
lots of people also just nip over the border into Ventimiglia in Italy, and they do their
And most people, what do they want to know when they're sort of asking you questions? Is for me, it'll be, where can I go for everyday life? Cup of coffee, croissant, be anonymous. Is it quieter in Fontvieille? I know a lot of the Formula One drivers live there,
exactly.
and
Very
they kind of
popular.
they can kind of just be anonymous, sit in a cafe,
Yeah.
have dinner, lunch. No one really bothers them.
Fontvieille is really popular actually. It's a newer area, so there's no new construction because the construction is already quite new and is there. And it's quite it's built around a marina. It's got a lot of good cafes and bars and restaurants, and it's quite low key. But all of Monaco can be low key if you want it to be. Quite amazingly, it really can. Or you can go to the big events and get your jewellery out and have a good time.
Fantastic. So what else do I need to know then? So we sort out the process of relocating, the visa, etc. We find the accommodation. Schooling is obviously important for those that have families.
Absolutely.
What choice do we have here?
There's quite an array of schools. There's the local state schools, if you like, and then there's sort of one semi-private state school where your main language, if you're going there, will be French. And then there's it's been there for a while, but it's just moved into amazing new premises. The International School of Monaco, which is now in Bay House, which is a fantastic new building. And they've got really good facilities. It just opened.
Is that to the east of Monaco?
Italian side of Monaco. So
Italian side. So we've got the French side of Monaco, we've got the Italian side. Fantastic.
Yeah, no, I haven't gone to see it yet. It's only just opened, but apparently it's really
So schooling is covered from
yes. Well,
preschool to 16?
whatever, no,
18?
right up,
All the way through.
finished,
So
yeah.
you can come and children go all the way through.
Absolutely. Then there's international schools as well in France that you send your children to on a daily basis, or some people do send their children to Switzerland or Britain. So there's good opportunities on the schooling front, and academic standards are very high in Monaco.
And Nice airport is only 30 minutes away. You can go by taxi, which is great. And for those that use the helicopter, I think that's 7 minutes and about 150 euros, give or take.
Absolutely.
On a good or bad day.
I think the lifestyle here is incomparable to anywhere else. I really do. You've got a place in Europe which is pretty interesting itself. And on its just across its borders, there are lots of great places to see. We ski within 2 hours, we're in Florence within 4 hours, Milan within 3. I mean, it's got pretty much everything.
And how many days sunshine do we have as a rough guide?
It's probably 300.
Yeah, I
like
think
that.
300.
It feels like 300.
300. Yeah, I mean, look at it today. We're in sort of like late September and it's beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely.
So-
This is not unusual. September's a great month. Normally we've had loads of rain this year, but this is this is lovely. And it will be like this, not quite as warm as this, pretty much through to March. So winter's gorgeous here.
So what about accommodation? Because obviously it's apartment living.
It's apartment living on the
And
whole.
size and cost. What does that look like? So let's say married, 2 children. So I'm going to probably need 3 bedrooms.
Yes.
And probably a spare for guests.
It's like, well, that's
not cheap.
by Monaco standards, that would be a big apartment. If you're
Okay.
looking for a 4-bed.
Wow.
Yeah, it really
So
would.
let's start with 2 beds then.
So a 2-bed apartment would probably, you could find something at, say, maybe 10,000 per month.
Euros.
Exactly. But you could also find something that's at 25,000 euros a month. So there's a big, it's good really, because we cater for every budget almost, and not quite every taste, because we are talking about apartments, most of which were built in the 70s. It's quite difficult to find something that's maybe a character building. But most people coming here, they accept condo living, if you like. And some of them, I love it, to be honest with you. A few years I was a bit skeptical, and now I absolutely love it. Everything's done for you.
Well, for me, I don't really like gardening, so having the opportunity to not have to garden would be kind of just the best.
I so agree. But also what a lot of people do is they will rent in Monaco, maybe buy in Monaco, but then they buy in the south of France. So they have their weekend home and they juggle their lives between the two. They're properly based in Monaco. Their kids will go to school in Monaco, but they will hop over the border, and there is no border really. and go to wherever their country home is or seaside home is. And that works quite well.
So we're looking at starting prices from €8,000 up to 25,000.
Or higher, actually.
Or higher for 2 beds.
Yeah.
What about 4 beds, much bigger? And what sort of size do you get for that sort of,
So
I hear stories of like Lewis Hamilton spending €100,000 a month to live in
the Roccabella.
the Roccabella. Yeah.
Yes, you can certainly do that. We've just rented a 3-bed apartment. It's a serviced apartment, but not furnished, which is at 90,000 a month in a good modern building, as I say, with service.
I think service apartments for those that are wealthy people makes a lot of sense because all the services and amenities are there. You don't really have to worry about anything.
No, they're really good. Unfortunately, there's not enough of them.
Yeah.
In a way, but we're getting better on the accommodation front. There's quite a lot of property developers out there who are doing works on apartments. So even in older buildings, which are not serviced on the whole, you're beginning to get better offer, I would say.
And the new development that is just coming nearer.
Not talk about that, can we?
No, nearing completion.
Completes in November. Married Terrace.
This year.
Completes this year, yeah. It's almost
all
finished.
sold out, I'm told.
All sold out.
And how much are those big, luxurious villas? And how many are there?
There are 10 villas.
Wow.
They're all sold and 200 million and upwards.
€200 million and upwards.
And then fantastic.
And yes, by the way, finance is available. If you are looking to buy a 200 million villa in Monaco, yes, we'll have lenders that can do that for you. No problem. Well, there's always some challenges, but we can do it. Anyway, what else do I need to know before we wrap up?
If you're thinking of coming, I would get yourself organised faster than you might think, because we're seeing a real wave of people coming here. Not just the non-DOMs and all the changes that they're going to suffer, but just generally wealthy people, maybe all over the world, but especially from Britain, who just fear what a Labour government there might do. So accommodation, rentals especially, they're coming thin on the ground. So I would say have a look at least. Come and see.
And how long have you lived here?
Me in Monaco, 32 years.
Wow.
Oh my God.
You love it. Absolutely love it.
I do love it. I mean, I'm in and out of the UK a bit as well. So it's a really good, for me, good combination. I'm not here every single day, but it's a great base. It really is a fantastic base. And it's a really good place for children.
Fantastic.
I've had 3 children here, and I think it's an amazing place to grow up.
Perfect. Irene, thank you so much, as always, for educating everyone on the benefits of how to relocate to Monaco, the things to think about and consider. If you have personal questions, then Irene's contact details will be in the comments below and we can introduce you personally. Thank you for watching as always. And please remember, like and subscribe. It helps us enormously.